through the storm's waves. We are warriors all.
So we're back.
There's fell voices on the wind. He's not happy.
You're not a hero.
I'm the best target shooter on our entire estate. Get me my bow and my leathers. I'm going back to the top.
Captain! 12 leagues! She's a ship!
Though some may not have believed that these things could have happened, take heart! For we, the Silver Eider, will be strong! And you see the ship coming from behind. This one jumps behind Regina and attacks Regina. 7 points of damage. Let's give it to you again. Oh, wrong one.
Abandon ship!
Oh, 8 points of damage.
Ooh.
That is a hit.
So I die.
So
I
you
go. I'm unconscious.
get knocked unconscious. You are not dying one.
Okay.
You are just unconscious. Okay, yeah. I can wake you up.
Oh, honey.
Oh, that is a hit. And take 5 points of damage.
And it's gonna put you under.
I'm -1.
Okay, that's a lot worse. 10.
He actually takes you down, right down the stairs. Just suddenly.
Oh.
And you just end up falling backwards, and all of a sudden you hit the water.
Okay.
And we'll end there.
I like it.
Welcome, travelers, to the Tales of TerraVale. We are but your humble guides to the lands and legends that is the world of TerraVale. A group of adventurers, family, and friends, we explore and interact according to the rules of Pathfinder 2nd Edition role-playing game. So join us as we voyage through the Emerald Gulf, where the misty waves whisper ancient secrets, and the winds carry songs that are long forgotten. Here, there'll be pirates that prowl northern shores, and enchanters that weave spells as old as the deep. And every port holds the promise of new adventures. So chart your course with us, and raise the sails, let the dice fall where they may, for this is the Shadowmar Saga. We're going to start with Regina. And Regina's lying there. She was revived by Nylan before Nylan was knocked out, and was able to hide her conditions from the enemy around. They left around her. They went on in the battle, leaving Regina by herself, enveloped in darkness. So Regina, what do you do?
So Regina, she thinks about saving, or at least getting Nylan and taking her away, but realizes that.
That's a topic.
Exactly. She thought about it very quickly.
Don't worry.
Not very long at all.
I'll be okay.
Very quickly she realized she wouldn't be able to. So she ends up going below the deck and trying to hide out somewhere until she can to get a better position.
All right, so she's going to sneak.
And try to repair herself.
Good, yeah. So she's going to actually sneak down here while it's still dark out, and she can hear the battle has pushed itself to the port side of the ship, and so you're able to avoid a lot of the men as you crawl down through here and find your way through here. Will you roll a stealth check?
Absolutely, I can. Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Regina stealth. She didn't even need that 20 though.
Oh, I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, well, yeah. Of course.
So good at this.
Regina doesn't even need a good stealth check.
So you're able to get below deck. The battle is upstairs, up on top deck. So you're below deck at this point, and you're standing in this hallway, and you're just kind of like, don't know what to do. You're kind of looking around like there's a couple doors here and stuff, trying to figure out. You're a little dazed at this moment because being punched in the face a couple times, hit with some,
You smelling salts back, up,
Yeah.
down, up, down.
being knocked out or brought back.
Knocked out and brought back.
Roll a perception check.
Of course I can. That's a 6 plus, so it's a 12.
All right, so you get down there and you're like trying to figure out like what's the best course of action to take here, and you start hearing this whimpering coming from the guest quarters in the back of the ship. Do you investigate?
Of course, honey.
All right, so you take yourself and you just like gingerly open this door and look in here, and what you see here is Grits is just kind of like in this, like there's this big chest and he's just like kind of going through and empty this chest and he's like, he's just whimpering to himself out loud, kind of talking to himself a little bit.
Oh, Grits. Oh, good. You're getting a weapon, you're helping us secure the ship?
They're taking everything. They're gonna take us all.
They're gonna take us all. What are you talking? Grits, get your head together. We need to take this ship back, honey.
We can't do this. We can't do it. I can't do it. I'm getting out of here. I'm hiding.
Where are you gonna go, honey?
I know.
We're on the ocean in the middle of nowhere.
If I could get here, there's an opening behind this barrel. You could get down to the bilge. We could hide out there for a while.
Oh, hiding in the bilge, honey. Okay. All right. Well, is there anybody else? Did you see anybody in my sneaking around? Did I see anybody else down there, or is it just Grits?
I would say this. You're sitting there and thinking. You remind yourself, as I came down into this lower decks, there's that room that was where Kyrenic and Nylon was sitting, and then you remember, where's her cat?
Oh, okay. All right. Can I get maybe with can I use my 20 stealth check to maybe go in there and get the
Kitty?
save the kitty and the seasick gentleman?
Or you can. I don't think you need to use the D20.
Okay.
Or the nat 20 stealth, because you're still like there's battle going on.
Okay.
If
So
anything breaks down, it doesn't matter. They're not listening. They're just gonna. Okay. So, but you do go over and you peek in here and into the room, and you do see that the snow lynx is kind of like in the corner, and he's got like this tiara in his mouth and like some jewelry and stuff, and he's just kind of sitting there like it's tense. It's very tense right now. But you don't see Kyrenic.
Oh, he's not there?
Yeah, he's not there.
Oh, okay. Oh, honey. Come on, let's go. Come on, let's get you safe. I know mommy is upstairs somewhere. She might be dead, if I'm being honest with you. So you know what?
He's great.
What is it gonna take? You and me, what do we say?
What do you
Handle animal, I guess.
do? You have handle animal? It's not really a skill.
It's not.
Maybe you can use.
I guess
nature?
I think esoteric lore. 'Cause it's a creature, right? Like I would know something. Can I look through the journeyman's
I will allow
guide
you to roll esoteric lore to see. You say these things, and the cat just kind of looks at you and is feeling very tense as you say these things. So you just kind of like grab your tone.
Where's my? So it's 16.
Okay.
Do I find a fluffy cat toy in my book?
You do find this section all about snow lynxes and everything, and on it it's like this. There's this little piece of like jerky taped to it, and it's like this draw like this writing next to it is like elk jerky, favored snack of the snow lynx.
Saved my life. Oh, honey, I rip half of it off.
Yeah.
And I say, honey. Ooh, smells good. Come on.
It kind of perks up. He's very interested. Will you roll a diplomacy?
Oh, of course I will roll diplomacy. Shouldn't be having me roll all these. Another 16.
All right. With the piece of jerky, it starts to kind of like gingerly kind of follow you as you're like wavering it, and it follows you as you bring it back to this room. And it comes in, and then you're able to kind of close the door and give him the jerky.
Yeah,
He's
give him the jerky.
She drops the jewelry onto the floor and starts eating the.
Oh, that's it? Okay, all right. Well, don't want that to go to waste.
No.
I'll take the.
All right, you can write down that you have the jewelry.
There's no use if you're dead, honey.
You also see that Grits at this point has moved this chest, and behind it there was this crate and barrel and stuff, and he's kind of like moved it out of the way at this point. So like there's stuff thrown all over the floor and everything because he had to empty the contents to be able to move it. But he's able to move it, and there's a grate underneath it, and he's starting to like pry it open.
There wasn't any signs of anybody else down there though?
No, nothing in that room or in that other room.
In the galley area. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, honey. Well, if we could save ourselves, I guess that's a good thing. maybe we can. I don't even know. Would they take? Have you had experience with raiders like this before, Grits?
No. This Silver Ida is strong. He takes it.
Silver Ida's strong. What would I know? Can I do like a? Can I use my sailor lore?
Do you have sailor lore?
That was one of my ones I took for the day.
Okay,
Can I use my
absolutely.
sailor lore to know if they would more likely take the ship with them or just do what they have to do, get on their ship and go?
Okay.
That's a lot. I have plus 3, so that's 22.
You have lots of high rolls here.
Yeah,
Well, I got 2 8s. Well, what I'm rolling is good because like diplomacy I have a plus 8 and esoteric lore I have plus 8 and stealth I have a plus 7.
Since you haven't heard of the raiders, usually you hear about pirates, they might sink a vessel when they're done with it, right? But since you haven't heard of the raiders, you can kind of allude to the fact that they might take the ship.
Well, here's the deal, Brett. All right.
What is it?
In these situations, sometimes they sink the vessels.
Will you roll diplomacy for Grits to like?
Okay, I will diplomacy. 19.
Okay, wow. He's like frantically trying to pry it, and as you talk to Grits, you kind of like lay your hand on his shoulder, and he just kind of calms down a little bit, like stare at you intently.
Oh no, I slap him in the face. Get a hold of yourself, Grits. You're the cook of this ship. You're probably the most important person on this vessel. Okay? Get your act together. Alright? We got a couple options right now. These pirates like this, they'll either sink the vessel or take it. Now, considering this situation, I think they're more likely to take it. Okay? If we go into this bilge area and they start laying waste to this vessel, we could be very quickly underwater.
Yes, that's true. That would be bad.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, bad.
Pretty
Yeah,
bad.
we don't want that.
But again, my gut's telling me. I think Richard. What do you think, Richard? Yes, that's what I thought too. He agrees. Okay, I do think that they're more likely to take the vessel than to sink it. So I think if we get in here and we, play our cards right, we might make it out of this alive. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, let's go.
All right, Grits. Let's go. Now here, take this kitty.
It's like bigger than him.
Take it, okay? Keep us safe. Okay, I'm gonna do one more look around just to make sure I can't get anybody else safe in here with us before we put ourselves in and block us off. So be careful. She's hungry though, so just be careful. Here's some jerky in case she gets. I'll rip off another piece of that jerky and give it to her. That's only if she gets aggressive. Okay, don't eat it, Grit. That's not for you. Okay, that's for the lynx. All right.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll be back, honey.
All right. Well,
You're in charge while I'm gone.
Yeah, I am in charge.
No, not you, the cat, honey,
Oh.
okay? You're in charge while I'm gone, okay? I'll be right back. All right, do another. I guess I'll see if I can stealth around, like obviously the bottom area, and maybe grab some like supplies from the kitchen in case like we're in there for a while. Like if they do, and we're like stuck down there, like for like a week's trip if we don't have food. I'll get some food from the kitchen, and then I'll kind of try and peek upstairs to try and see what's going on. But like if I hear anybody like coming or something, I'll scurry back over.
Okay. All right. So roll a 20 or roll a.
Roll a 20.
Roll a 20.
That's
You're
not
used
great.
to that.
It's a 10.
Oh, okay. All right, so you start looking around and everything. Below deck, you make it to the galley, and you're kind of looking around, and you even kind of peek out. You go up to the top of the stairs and kind of peek out, and as you're below deck, there's lanterns lit. And it's normally lit down here. But as you open up, almost like this darkness starts leaking through, and you can tell you still hear battle going on. It's still dark. You can't really see everything. So at this point, you probably don't know what's going on. Like what's the state of happening out there.
I'll close it.
Yeah, you
And
close
I'll grab all the leftovers from lunch.
Okay, there you go. Just got whatever. Oh yeah.
Whatever hasn't been put in cannons.
Yeah.
Oh yes, whatever Grits didn't load into the cannons.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave you there for a second.
Okay.
All right. And I'm gonna go to where we left off. Hilo was on top of the top sail of the main mast, and he began getting attacked by these dark-winged creatures. You lose your balance and you end up tumbling down into the water, and you just kind of splash into the water there, and then you're able to kind of get yourself back up. The waves are kind of choppy. The boat is heaving back and forth. You know that the boat has been anchored. It's not going anywhere, and it's tethered to the other ship on the other side. But the wave is kind of moving. I want you to roll an athletics for swim.
20.
Oh, nice.
Unnatural.
A dirty.
Dirty 20.
All right, so you're able to kind of get yourself, swim back up, break the water, and get yourself leveled off of what's happening. At this point, the birds have kind of like scattered and flying around, maybe even interfering some of the battle on deck. But you're on the side of the boat, and at this point, you recognize that these creatures that are attacking, these raiders, they are stronger than anything that you've faced before, and it looks like it's a dire situation. So you're sitting there. What do you do?
Well, I'm going to appear on the side of the boat. I mean, I should know this, but for the closest scuttle,
When you say scuttle,
any hole, porthole, hole that for sweeps, hole for cannons, window, any scuttle. Yeah.
you know that there's portholes in the aft, where there's portholes to both the back room of the guest quarters, kind of, and then up above to the cabins quarters as well.
Okay. Do I know which one's closer? I'm assuming the cabins are closer than the...
Yeah, the cabin, because they're lower. And they're probably like a good maybe 10 feet above where you're at. There's, and then above that is where the captain's quarters. But they're on the aft of the ship.
Okay. So, they're 10 feet up and I'm swimming.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be looking at this. Where's the anchor down? You said the anchor's down.
Oh yeah, the anchor is going to be in the bow on the
Port?
starboard side.
Starboard bow?
Yeah.
Okay. So my thought's going to have to be, how do I get onto this ship? Am I able to climb wood with my claws? Like a cat?
That's a good question. I'm going to say you probably could get some traction onto the side of the ship with that. But you do also see that there are parts where the rigging is kind of tied down low, where there's times that you need to
So I can get to it. All right.
Yeah, I think you can.
I'd like to get to the whatever the closest one is.
Yeah, okay.
Window.
Why don't you go ahead and... You can roll an acrobatics to see if you can kind of like jump up and grab.
21.
Okay, that'll do it. So you kind of like, as the waves are pushing you back and forth, you swim up to the side of the ship and you wait till the wave kind of like gives you some momentum. You kind of like swim up, jump, use your claws to kind of give yourself some more distance and grab onto the side of a rigging and pull yourself up onto the side of the ship. So now you're on the side of the ship. You do know that maybe about 5 feet above you, there is Maris is fighting, or probably is about losing a battle with two of the Faemorri from before. You know there's going to be Faemorri right there. Actually, I think at this point you might even hear this tumbling down the stairs right above your head as more Faemorri are just tackling and taking out sailors. You can make your way on the side of the ship, but you'll have to roll.
So you're saying I have a way up and over?
You could go up and over, but you know that there's going to be a lot of enemies.
Right, and then I'm at the window, right? Is that what I just climbed up to?
No. The window is going to be in the very aft.
Oh, okay. Those are all the windows. So there's no hole. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go up and over.
Yeah, you can go up and over, or you can go around and then up into the pool. That's what I'm saying. But up and over, there are at least 3 Faemorri raiders.
All right, so then let's go ahead and obviously make my way back around the corner if I can.
All right.
Worst that happens, I just fall back in the water.
No, that's true. Go ahead and roll either an acrobatics or athletics. I'll let you choose.
I mean, a shark could
18.
go by and eat you.
Okay. That's good. Good. That's a good idea.
Wait a minute.
All right, so you start crawling your way along the side of it as you hear battle kind of raging above you. And as you do so, you make yourself around to the back and climb yourself up to where one of the portholes is, and it's not a huge porthole, but you're thinking that you can actually squeeze yourself through there. I think.
Okay, before I squeeze in, I want to peer in.
All right, so you get yourself up there, and you open up the latch is kind of like already open. A lot of times they leave these things open to air out and everything. And you open up and you look in there, and what you see is you see like a bunch of hammocks and everything hanging up, and over far to your right, you see that there's some clothes kind of like scattered all over the floor and everything, some barrels and chests put over, and you hear, we have to open it, we have to open it.
All right.
Did you recognize speakers?
Okay. Then I'm just gonna crawl through.
Okay. Alright, so you kind of like squeeze your way through and then just kind of like tumble onto the ground with a loud and
I'd like to shake off the water.
and as you do so, Grits goes, ah! What? Kilo, you're alive?
You seem so surprised by that, Grit.
Oh, everyone, I thought I was the only survivor.
Ah, my dear boy, I survived worse than this. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm persevering. We're gonna go into the bilge there and we're gonna hide.
You're hiding the bilge. All right. Well, I'll follow you, good man. You seem to have a plan.
Yes, but
As I
I'm
like
having a
just
hard
check-
time opening the grate.
I'd like to just kind of like secure all my stuff, like my sword and you know what I mean, like
Take this time to.
yeah, like just kind of like settle myself. I would like to walk over and look at the grate that he's talking about.
Yeah, he's gotten it loose, but it's kind of stuck. Like
It's
it's
stuck?
like a steel, like grating kind of in the.
Okay.
It looks like it hasn't been used in a while.
Chris, is there anyone down here with you?
Well, the kitty cat. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, not me. That cat. Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one. That's yes. And we have the old lady.
The old lady.
Yes.
Oh, the one that
who's
made lunch.
significantly less of a cook than I.
Oh, yes, of course. No one's as good as cook as you.
That's right. Yes.
Good man. Right then, let's try this. I would like to just give it a pull.
All right, roll a flat strength check.
Ooh,
You can-
3.
There, it's not.
It doesn't build.
At this point, the door opens, and Regina comes in, like with arms full of wrapped leftovers.
Honeys, I forgot. Yes, we might be down here for a while, so stopped at the kid. Oh, hello.
It seems you have your
Kina, hello.
priorities in order.
What was that, honey?
Your priorities.
Our priority? Yes, we might be down here in the build. I assume Grits filled you in.
Well, he showed me that there's a hatch you can't open.
Yeah, oh yes, there's a lot he can't do. But there's a lot he can do too, honey, okay? So don't let him fool you on that, okay? So yes, we got some lunch. I did one quick around. I didn't see anybody else down here that we could get in here with us. Looks like it's just us gonna be down here, so... Oh, you need help with the grates, honey? Here, hold this. I'll give Grits the all the leftovers. I'll just like pile it onto him. Alright, you gonna help me lift this, Kalo?
Well, I tried myself, but
Kilo?
if we all give it a pull together, maybe we can wedge it free.
Absolutely. Let's go. Let's see if this thing...
I'm gonna have one of you kind of be the main person, and then the other ones will aid.
All right, I'll aid, I guess, since I already tried once.
You're aiding, Regina.
I'll have Grits help as well.
I forget. Okay.
Sorry. What'd you get?
8.
Okay.
This is straight strength. 10.
All right. Well.
We're not getting to this thing.
It does give a good budge.
I think over
in
time
time.
we
Yeah, and you're able to
stop
but
crying.
Actually, Grits comes over and is able to kind of get in there and help, and you're able to kind of just slide it or pick it up and just unwedge yourself. At this point, it's unwedged, and you're able to kind of lift it up, and you can see that below. Well, it's dark below.
can I use the light cantrip?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
Is there any way you want to do it?
Yeah. Richard, I need some help, honey. And then he just goes, oh.
It's like a light coming from the
Yeah, just
Richard.
like Richard just makes like a little
a little
whale that just kind of just like a lighting whale that just kind of like can float through the air.
It just kind of floats down to the boat
Sad.
slowly. Yeah, sadly.
Sadly, yeah.
And like lights up. And you can see that down here there's there's a lot of stone laid against on the bottom of it and like tar. But there's also some barrels and crates that are kind of like deep stored underneath there. It is a storage area mostly, but not as used storage area. So you guys can drop down there. It is a tight squeeze, but you're able to kind of like duck down underneath there. You see some crates and everything. I'm assuming you guys are gonna find some place in the corner to kind of like barricade yourself.
Yeah. I'll like. Can I set like the crate like after we get through? Kind of pull the crate, not all the way like locked, like
Right.
in its closed position, but and then maneuver. Can I use? I guess to like. Yeah, so like the grate's open. I'm kind of sticking my head out, pulling stuff close to it to kind of make sure that it's
Do
not
you have
very.
mage hand?
I do have mage hand. So I was gonna say, and then like once I get down, use mage hand to kind of like push everything back up.
Yeah, absolutely. You can kind of like get it all ready, and then once the grate stops, you can kind of like mage hand it over it a bit.
Richard, come on. Richard does all the magic for me. I don't handle any of that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's. Never mind.
I would like to look around and see if there's any other way out. Again, I should probably know this since I've been on the ship, but
You do know that there's another entrance to the bilge area. There's a greater area underneath the below deck where the living quarters is. Right, you can actually look. There's a grate there, and that goes down. There's another area where things are being stored. Now the ship is bowed, so the below the galley there's like a small space, and below the quarters there's a small space, but the main part is like the center of the ship.
okay. So just to be clear, on the very top there, you have the two boats that are on top of the grate on the deck, right?
Right.
And that takes us down into the living quarters. Living quarters, that grate goes down into the hold, and under the hold is the bilge, or the bilge and the hold are on the same level.
Below deck there, the second grate is the bilge. It's just an area that it's covered in stone and tar and everything to kind of balance out the ship, but it's also used for some like the deep storage and stuff like that.
Cool.
And typically what happened when the ship is docked, both those grates get removed and a lot of that stuff gets removed and set up and sold. And he is a merchant. Elowen is a merchant, so he goes around.
Okay, that makes sense. Do I know if that is openable? It's got to be openable, but is it currently locked?
You know that if the Faemorri get down there, they will be able to open that. They'll be able to get down into the
locked
building.
or anything.
Right, it's not locked at all. But typically this area is just kind of like shoved in the back and tight, so they might go down, investigate.
Okay.
But you feel relatively confident that this area will be less investigated.
All right. Cool.
All right, that should do the trick. I think that should keep us inconspicuous for at least a little bit here. I can't imagine they'd want to come in here for any reason unless they did, but...
Right, so I imagine that what they're going to do is subdue the ship, and then once it's subdued, tow it behind them if they want the ship. Otherwise, they'll just take the supplies and either burn it or leave it. Either way, we're waiting for the next thing to happen.
Yes, honey, that's all we can do is wait and hope that they don't try to sink the ship, I guess, because if they do, I think we're pretty cooked.
Well, I suppose we'll find out. And then I'm gonna guess we're just listening to hear what we can hear at this point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after a while, you don't really hear the battle from down here. You're just kind of like almost below the water line at this point. But after maybe, it's hard to keep track of time down here, but maybe about 20, 30 minutes, suddenly you do hear the grate of the main under deck to be moved from out. It opens up and you can kind of hear like boots kind of crash down. It's like, what do you see down there? Oh, just a bunch of more barrels and such. Well, Captain says we need to take half of it aboard. All right, I'll look into it. All right, send Send out Grok. Grok needs to help me on this. All right, I'll get him.
Well, I hate to say it, but we could hide in a barrel and let them take us over to their ship. Can't imagine they'll just take barrels without checking what's inside. Otherwise, we're just waiting for them to come far enough. Fight them again. They seem pretty tough.
Well, I mean, honey, if they don't burn the ship and they take us with them, I guess that's like what our best hope is that they just take the ship and we hide out in here until, we get to wherever it is they're taking us and maybe sneak off the ship.
They said they were taking half of what we have here. Why would they take half, not all?
That's what I'm saying, honey, unless they were meant on keeping the ship.
Yeah, so they'll probably just tow us. So I imagine our best move is to wait until they start towing. Because then at least half of the people that were on the ship with us will be back on the other ship, manning that ship. I'm sure they'll keep some over here, but nothing we can't try to take at that moment.
That's true, honey. That's true. Grits, what do you think, honey?
Well, I guess we could wait. We can wait to see if it docks and we sneak away that way. We can hide. I don't want to go to the other ship.
Oh no, honey. Yeah, that's too dangerous over there for sure. For someone like you, yeah, definitely not, honey. Let's keep you staying here, okay?
Yeah. And then we leave. We get out of here. Maybe wait a little bit and then jump and swim away.
That's possible, honey, but we do have maybe I saw they were mostly knocking people out, so there's a good chance that they were taking captives, and there are a lot of our friends up there, Grits. People we care about, right, Grits? We talked about empathy, Grits.
They all are dead.
What's that, honey?
They're dead.
Maybe not.
They're gone. We have to save ourselves.
We have to save everybody. We got to try to save everybody that can be saved, honey. Okay?
He's
all right.
just visibly disappointed.
Thing pops on the top of the screen. Kilo liked that. Good word, Regina. You're right. They were knocking people out and not killing them, so they're probably being taken captive.
Yeah, I can speak from experience. They had plenty of opportunity to just kill me dead. They just kept bonking me on the head. Can you see this? Oh my goodness, so many bumps on bumps like in the cartoons. You know what I mean? When they get hit with the hammer?
What's a cartoon?
The cartoon in the city, in the sheets, the broadsheet. You've seen them, right, honey?
A cartoon in
a
a
tune.
sheet.
It's like a caricaturized version of people
Oh.
and animals sometimes.
What do they think of next?
Exactly, and it's done in a real funny way, honey.
You remember that there's some crude drawings in your tome.
Oh, right here, honey. You see this? You see how the dog?
Oh no!
Not like that.
Oh,
honey.
crude drawings.
Not like crudely drawn.
Oh, crude.
Not
like,
drawn
like
crudely.
a crude shit. No, okay.
Yes. Like this here. You see this? This is about a boy and his dog.
Ah.
Okay. You see how the dog.
And the dog talks.
And it's funny that the dog is talking.
Ah,
Exactly.
Who ever heard a dog that can talk?
Exactly, but you see
the
when he
talking
hits
cat.
him on the
That's
head
the
with the
talking-
pan, honey, he's got the bung, 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 bung. You see that? That's what
Oh,
I
that's
feel
what
like.
happened to you.
Yes, with my goose egg.
Oh wow.
On my goose, I got a goose.
Cartoons indeed.
Yes, a cartoon. Yes.
Are we like alone down here? Has it
Yeah,
seemed
yeah.
to settle?
Yeah, it seems to have settled, and they've at this point moved. You see about half the cargo has left at this point, and they've.
We're
put
joking in the back of our cartoons.
Yeah, exactly.
We're terrible at hiding. We're terrible cat burglar. I would like to, if it seems free, I would like to sneak around to try to peer up and see.
Okay. Yeah, you wait until the grate kind of gets pushed back into place, and you can hear it kind of get put back, and then you feel the ship begin to kind of jolt as the anchor has been pulled up, and you can tell that it's starting to kind of lurch forward at this point.
The weighing anchor, boys. I mean, sorry, and lady.
That's a good sign, honey. It's a good sign.
Yeah, that means they probably are going to tow us. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to look around and see if how many of them are there. And agreed.
Are you gonna go out there, honey? You gonna go out there?
No, I just want to go and look.
Look
I want
where?
To see.
Where are you gonna go look?
I want to look and see if there's other
From the bilge
men.
up through the bottom.
Yeah, I want to look through the bilge.
You're gonna go through the grate? You're gonna go over to the bilge and
Just
look up
want
to
to
the
look.
grate, honey?
I'll go through the other
Aren't
way. if
they
you want.
moving stuff in and out?
We can go
That's
through
what
the
I've got.
smaller
They've
grate if
finished.
you'd
Been
like.
quiet for a while?
It's been
Okay,
probably
good
like
luck,
an
honey.
hour at this point as you wait silently.
Not so
Kilo is just really enjoying the pictures.
Got him in the pan. Pans of a cooking. I
This
don't
was about a
understand.
cat and a mouse. What the cat chases the mouse around, and the mouse always gets the best of them. It's great. I love this one.
All right.
And then it's been about an hour or so, and that's when they locked up the grate. And so you
They locked the grate. Do we know that they locked the big one?
you know that they get locked into place.
Oh,
It's probably 4 grates kind of put down and then locked into place.
And that
Not necessarily like padlocked, but like
Affixed.
affixed.
Okay, so in that case, instead of going to the big one, I imagine I would go up through the small one.
You want to leave the bilge.
Well, I mean, I would like to at least like peer up and see. I don't want to like
Okay.
jump up. Ha ha! You know what I mean? I just want to like peek around. Regina, didn't you move this barrel earlier?
Oh, yes, honey. I had Richard move that. He's pretty good with the magic stuff.
Well, would you and Richard mind just lightly moving it out of
You
the
going
way?
back out there? Huh? Okay, all right. All right, Richard, go ahead. All right, so and then, yeah.
like a sad like magic.
Sad magic. It's sad.
Sad that moves it forward, and the grate opens up silently. So you kind of like climb your way up, and crate and barrel that were covering it has moved, but it's not out of the way. So you kind of had to climb over it. As you do so, you kind of like jostle the crate and the barrel rocks and stuff, and you kind of like jump down and everything, make like a soft thud.
Okay.
And you're in the empty quarter down below.
Okay. Nobody here, right? Do I
No
need-
one's in that room. Yeah.
Okay.
No, before you left up, you probably looked around and saw that there's
Yeah.
no one in that room. But the door is closed. I'm gonna say that you probably go to the door to kind of listen through. So roll
Yep.
perception.
22.
All right. Oh, 22. Okay, so you hear that there are some footsteps in that, like right outside the door.
Oh, right outside the door. Okay.
And then you hear like this door kind of like bang open and like close and stuff. And it sounds like someone's going through the rooms.
Going through the rooms.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll step back and just kind of like lower myself back down to like let them know.
Okay.
Do I do the stealth again?
No, okay, that's fine. You can
All right.
get down there.
So I can hear one person walking around, but there's no one directly above us.
So you're saying there's no one in the room, but there's someone up there
On the
just
deck, yes.
on the deck of the ship?
Well, no, not the main deck, but on this deck.
On the middle level? The
Yeah.
level above us?
Yeah, the quarters.
So they're just, walking around?
Walking around sound that I only heard one. I didn't want to.
Will you roll perception? Everyone can roll perception. Your cat can roll perception.
Oh,
You can take control of your cat,
Are you sure?
for the most part.
I'm pretty sure I've won it over. I don't think you're a familiar anymore.
oh,
I got a 23.
Okay.
17.
Or 10.
Okay. So as you're talking, Kilo, you actually hear, as you're below deck, the floorboards creaking. Whatever boots are walking are not directly overhead of you, but that if you went to that direction, you could probably tell where those boots are walking.
I'd like to do that. I'd also like to, as I, listen, I like to hear if I hear just one set of boots,
Okay.
so.
So as you're talking, you kind of like realize, quiet everyone, and you kind of like sneak over, and you hear and you realize it's just one set of boots that are walking around up there, and like kind of going through the room, on the bottom, on the port side.
Right then. Well, we can't stay here forever. So, I'm only hearing one person up there, whatever they were, blue demons. So, I'm going to head up and see if I can predict where they'll go next.
Does it sound like they're coming this way? Like, let's get that grate moved back. Let's, if they're coming over here.
You just want to wait here for the whole ship ride.
I think this is
What if
probably
we're down
the
here
best.
for months.
That's why I got the leftovers, honey.
Amaya starts to like whine and creeps over to you, and she takes her little claw. Amaya's trying to follow Kilo, saying that she agrees with Kilo.
Kilo says, shoot.
She's traumatized. She just lost the owner and she has a new one, okay? She's not accustomed to this yet, okay? It's alright, honey. It's okay. So what's the alternative? We go up there and we get ourselves killed? Like, I think that we should wait as long as we have rations, and then if we need to, then we can go into the kitchen, try and sneak around. Maybe go into the kitchen, get some more of those long-term rations, and then come back. But I think just walk around. These things,
Yeah,
they're...
we can make a bed down here. We can get nice and cozy, make a nice living for ourselves.
Alright, well, this isn't permanent, okay? You need, again, we talked about
I'm okay with being a roommate.
being a roommate. Are you seeing what I'm throwing down here, Kilo?
Fine, I will leave the lad be. I'm still gonna go look around more.
Okay, well, good luck. You better not... we got some precious cargo down here, okay? We don't want to be dying. Don't be killing us, because you will...
Don't worry, I'll recover the grate.
Oh, thank you.
Don't
thank you.
find you.
And
only
don't
me.
forget, put the crate back on top of the grate and move that barrel as well, okay? Don't be leaving that open.
So I'd
Right,
like
you
to crawl
jump
back up.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say you jump back up here and you crawl back out, and now you're standing in this room. And you go to the door. I'm assuming that the first thing you do is just to check, right?
Yeah.
Roll a perception check.
Yeah. If you could, I would like to at least listen. Ooh, nat 20.
Oh, okay. You are hearing, you're listening out, and you hear that the door kind of slam shut of that room next to you, and this heavy boot steps of. Now you can kind of recognize that those are heavy boot steps, so they must belong to the Faemorri. This Faemorri kind of like walking around, and he's getting close to this door that you're sitting at. He's like, "Oh, I don't know what I ought to be the one going to do this." He's like grumbling to himself.
I would like to kind of like fade back into a corner and slip out my knife.
Okay.
Just me.
All right, so he's just kind of looking around and walking back and forth and grumbling himself. He's kicking some of the clothes in the bottom, and he doesn't seem to like put two and two that there's only clothes in the bottom right in front of this thing. He's just walking around, kicks his chest over here. And like, "Ugh." You guys hear it from where you are. You're like, "Oh, what's going on up there?" There's just this guy walking around, kicking chests, opening up, kind of like going through, and he doesn't seem to notice. Doesn't seem to notice the crate or the barrels kind of out a little bit. The chest has been moved over. He seems to be completely oblivious of it all. So yeah, it seems like he's just kind of like going through this chest at this point.
Okay. I'm still happy to just keep waiting.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over to you two. And as this is happening, all of a sudden you guys begin to wake up in your from being unconscious at this point. You kind of like move your heads, open your eyes, and kind of have a splitting headache at this point. Both of you you see that you're actually next to each other, and you are in the middle of the living quarters and below deck there. All the hammocks at this point have been torn down and thrown to the side. You two are there chained up along with all kind of like bunched together about 12 other sailors, and you see that Bror is there. You're all just kind of chained together in this huge area of where everyone's sleeping. You have you're shackled, and everyone's just kind of sitting there, knocked out, and on top of each other. Some of them begin to stir and everything. You kind of get this massive headache.
We're like right on the other side of the wall.
Okay, so Nyland, she feels pain.
Yeah.
That's not something she experiences.
You also don't have
often.
You're also, other than the clothes you're wearing, your armor can stay on. Everything else is you don't have anymore. All right.
Okay. So Nyland's in pain. She's not used to that. So the first thing she would like to do is demand a healer come to her.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello? Someone, bring me a healer, now. Hello? Hello?
You're looking around. There's all these sailors and everything. You didn't realize that there was actually a Faemorri in the room with you. he's sitting like in the middle of this floor over here. He's got everyone's like there's a bunch of just junk all over the floor. It seems to be like everyone's stuff. And he's just kind of going through it, looking at stuff and everything. This Faemorri kind of comes over, and you recognize him as the one who continued to hit you and miss against you, as you also missed against him.
The one that was very annoyed with me.
Yeah, exactly. He comes. Oh, princess, your way, good. Oh, we're very happy to have you on board.
Did you not hear me? I demand a healer now.
Oh, well, I got no healers for you, princess. But I got a little bit more of the taste of your medicine. And he kind of goes over and he just slaps you across the face.
Oof.
Yeah, so let's do this.
Wait, what's her health?
She's at 4. You take 1 point damage.
So she was
You
not
just take, like,
3?
oh, yeah. Yep, you're at 3.
Okay, he said you were at 4.
I was at 4.
Yeah, you were at 4, you take 1, you're at 3.
Actions have consequences in this game. That's why I'm waiting so much.
That's the only healing you're gonna get. Oh, look at that, I hit you this time. No jumping around, little Alfie.
I'm sorry, that was Lyndi laughing, not her. She's extremely perturbed and has no idea what to say at this point because
You're right
she's
next to her.
never
Yeah,
encountered
yeah.
this. She doesn't even know what to do. She's just left speechless.
So, Kale will maybe just lean over and say, let's try not to make him any angrier.
Listen to that, man. He's the only small one here, I think. He like kind of walks away smugly.
I would like to lean over to Kale and just ask him. So she leans over and she says, "What is this?"
Well, I take it you've not been out on the seas much.
This is my first time leaving the estate.
Right, thought so. Well, I can't say that we're in a good spot here. Let's just hope that some of our friends got away and they're coming to help us. I can't do a whole lot with me hands tied behind me back here.
This is going to make my father very angry.
You at this point you kind of look around and you start to notice that some of the guys who is missing, Kilo's missing, Regina's missing.
Great.
There's only 12 sailors, and so there's a couple of sailors of the 14 or of the 15 sailors. There's only 12 there, so there's a couple sailors missing, and it's just to see none of the kind of officers of the ship, except for Bror, is there either.
Okay. What? I guess I didn't really see this guy during a battle, right? I was in a different.
Oh yeah, he's not. Yeah. Well, no, he's the one that tackled you.
Oh, he is. Okay.
Yeah.
Did we hurt him at all? Like, is he wounded? Can we tell us?
Yes.
He's wounded?
Yeah, he is wounded.
How badly? Like, can I see that?
Why don't you roll perception?
Perception. All right. Yeah, that's a 1. Never mind.
Yeah, he looks fine.
Great.
Mother?
Is Nylan allowed to try to sneak away at this point?
No, you're chained.
I'm chained.
Yeah.
Like, we're chained to the floor?
You're chained to each other.
Chained to each other. Okay. Like, all of us? Like, if
Yeah,
we're gonna
like
move,
it's-
we
yeah,
have to
yeah.
move as a 14
As
man
a,
unit.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably what's gonna
Can we roll a stealth for that?
All the chains.
You're like you like lift up your chains and they're just like
It's like a 40 DC 40.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't roll a stealth for that. Gotcha. Is there anything Nylan can do right now? Can she try to get her hand out of a chain and put a health potion in her mouth? Can
no
she?
health potion that you've been taking.
And
the backpack is gone. All you have is what you are wearing.
And there's no possible way that I can try to like slip my hand through
You
the
can
chain.
try.
I would love that.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd
you
like
can
to try
write
and
it.
slip it. I would like to use my astrology before I do that. Assuming I could still have that from my day's preparations.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
So I recall the stars' predictions about my current situation. I roll a 1d8. And that's a 6. So on a 6, I'll gain a +2 bonus to my...
There's a escape action.
oh,
So
is
I
it?
don't know if you want to.
What does that say? What is it?
So attempts to get free when grabbed, restrained, or immobilized.
Okay.
Uses unarmed attack modifier or acrobatics or athletics.
All together?
Altogether 9.
I'm gonna take acrobatics.
Not very happy with that.
Alright, I'm gonna roll acrobatics then. 16 total.
Okay. So you're trying to get it, and you're not able to kind of make it.
Your slight
Roll
wizard
a
fingers
Yeah.
aren't very
To make
strong.
Oh, I got a 20
Nah,
plus
20.
8.
All right. Well, that
20
okay.
plus 8.
So you're actually able to like get your the shackles were meant for sailors and men and women who are working the ship. It was not meant for your delicate hands, and so you're able to move your get a hand free quietly as well. Like
He
slip
also
it
has
through.
dainty wizard hands.
Apparently not good enough.
Did not roll that 20.
I got a nat 20 plus 8, and I can only get one
the
hand.
parameters on that were that she had dainty hands.
Dainty
bribe the DM.
He
wizard-
also
wizard.
has dainty wizard hands.
It's like a little hand. Like,
Yes.
They
Got
tied my
that
hand
deck
up extra.
yeah.
Fingers.
There's my mighty man hand. No.
So I still only could get one hand free, even with the...
You get one hand free.
I want to try to pick the lock then, on the other hand.
You have nothing to pick. Well,
My
you-
fingernail.
I think that's gonna work.
Wait, so are they?
Oh no, I
is it-
still have my earrings on. I never gave them to Amaya. I mentioned that earlier. I said, oh no, my pearls.
Let's see if they saw them and took them while you were knocked out.
Darn it.
Well, let's just see. Yeah, they did. They're gone.
So are they like? Is there one chain that is
From
like?
what you can tell, there's one chain that's currently going from between. So it's kind of like everyone's kind of sitting like this, and there seems to be a chain that's coming from the next guy to you, to the next guy. It's kind of hard to see from there.
It's not like links. It's not like.
They're not
cuffed.
linked. No. It's
So like,
it's like
she
there's
doesn't break the. She doesn't
right.
like
I just
break
slip
the
out.
sequence because her
Correct.
hand is free.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. It's just looped into this chain.
Okay.
Right. So
And she got out of that one thing. So everybody else is still chained
yeah,
in sequence,
in sequence.
and she's just out of that
yeah,
sequence.
she
one
kind of
handed
get.
now.
I'll say you kind of get both of the hands free, quietly.
Kill.
Your hands. You're
Free.
out. What'd you do?
Ta-da!
Can you get me out of here? Is that like would she be able
DM,
to?
can I try to get him out?
Do you have any way to pick a lock? I will. Do you,
Well, you told me that my earrings were
Right.
robbed while I was unconscious. What about my ring?
I don't know if that's probably what's taken too.
How do you?
And my dagger was also
The
taken.
lock that she's picking on Pad, is it a padlock? I'm just asking for a friend.
Can I? Okay. Man, you're really making this tough. Can I look around
How about
and
this?
see if there's a nail
How
on the
about
ground?
for a hero token? I'll allow that you have a bobby pin in your hand.
I do have a bobby pin in my hand.
Right.
Well, you don't take it up for real.
You don't have to take it off. That's fine. That's fine. You
She
don't
did it. She did it.
Nice. And you can attempt to pick his lock, though you don't really have a lot of training in it. It's gonna be thievery, and that is
Hey,
Right.
you're just gonna get another 20, so we're good.
that's right.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
I can attempt with this. Oh, 19 total.
All right.
He's like, this is not what I was planning.
Just get out.
All right, so you're actually able to kind of take the bobby pin, and you're like, and you tell him like you've never done this before.
On shackles that have no lock.
I've read a book where the main protagonist did this once. No. The shackles are like hard irons that are locked over the wrists, right? And then they're chain. They're like locked together, and then there's a chain that goes through a loop, right? So there is a place for a key to kind of like.
It's not one of the ones where like the chain goes through and then it goes through again and then the chain is locked, so you have to unlock the one in order to let everybody out.
Yes, it is also that, but it's also locked to your hand.
Oh, as well as so it's
Yeah.
like double lock.
It's okay. So there's shackles that
Yeah.
are locked onto the wrist like this with a piece of iron, and here like in between. them,
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's a loop, And there's a chain that goes
That goes
through
through that
the
loop.
loop that everyone's attached to that chain. Now the chain is also probably locked somewhere,
Yeah.
right? But if you can unlock this, you're free from that chain.
Okay.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
And so she's able to like click, and you put up. Will you roll a stealth to kind of hide the fact that
Okay.
the sounds of this as that guy is currently sitting over there.
So I was able to get him out?
Yeah.
All right, well then I'm going to put this back in my hair now. Because I'm not going to get anybody else out.
You take the time to like make sure.
Oh, look,
Everyone's like looking at you.
me next.
I just...
Are they all gonna roll perception or stealthy?
Nylan chooses to just put it back in her
19.
hair.
19. Nice.
19.
All right, so you kind of like it snaps, and you muffle it, and so nothing like there's no sounds of it. You kind of put it down, and everyone there's a couple. I mean, some of them there's a lot of, they're still knocked out, but there's a couple guys that are just like, "Why me next? Help us, Kale. Kale, help
Okay,
us."
I'm gonna just do that. Just kind of.
Nylan looks at Kale and just says, "Did I get my pin back in place?"
Yes, looks great, darling. I think I have an idea.
Can we hear anything from?
So,
No, you.
Okay.
No.
Not even
so
the guy
I
yelling with
have
the slap or
a
anything like that.
cantrip called
people.
message.
Down there rationing your
You
food.
hear this guy above you like rummaging through a chest. You're like, "Where's Kilo?"
I would like to cast message.
Okay.
I mouth words quietly, but instead of coming out of my mouth,
Do you
I
need to
transfer.
see your target?
It does not say I need to see my target.
Okay.
Okay, so apparently they won't be able to answer me, but I can send a message. So I'll send a message to Kilo, and I'll just say like, "Hey Kilo, where you at? We got about 12 sailors here, plus myself and Nylan. We're tied up in the living quarters, right?
Yeah.
Tied up in the living quarters. There's one enemy here. Send help if you can. Be quiet about it."
Okay.
Do I know he's doing this?
You would hear me talk. It's part of the
Well-
spell. Like, well, I guess
Yeah,
maybe not.
she wouldn't hear you say that. She'd see you move your mouth.
Okay. Okay.
But
So I'm like distracted.
Yeah,
Instead of like,
yeah, you kind of get a little startled there. You're like,
what the heck?
what's happening?
So
Oh my
I'll
God.
tell you that I.
How are you talking to Kilo?
So I can't respond.
You can't respond.
And you
Okay.
can't hear him.
You
He's
can't
just
hear, so you
mouthing.
don't know
But
that he's
I
talking
read
to
his
you.
lips that he mouth Kilo,
think
right?
you
No,
have-
even
Well,
though I have low
I would
light
just
vision?
kind of
Oh,
send a
okay.
message to Kilo.
Yeah, it's part of the spell. You don't recognize what he's
Oh.
saying.
Okay, that's
See
good
if
information.
Amaya's okay.
Okay, I will cast it again. And Kilo, I know you can't answer me, but Nylan's a little bit worried about her cat. I hope all is well.
I'm like, who is talking?
Thank you, Kale. Let me know when you get a response.
All right, we're gonna jump over to you real quick.
All right. Okay, so back in the same moment.
Yeah, yeah. So you're seeing
Okay.
the
So that's
Maury's
actually-
kind of rummaging, still like throwing stuff out of it. Like,
That's actually key information for me because one person on this deck is far better than what might have been 100 earlier. So I think in that moment, with that new information, I think he's saying in that same moment, I would like to come at him. So I would like to just step out and be like, "Hello, my darling."
Thank you, travelers, for watching and joining us on our quest today. If you want to see more adventures by us, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. And remember to toss the dice and let them fall where they may. Until our paths cross again, thank you and have a good night.
Question is, who's even alive? Is Grits the cook alive? Is Elowin the captain even alive? Is Kane the pad alive? Wait,
Kane the pad. Pad thing.
I had it written down. The pad is Kane.
Oh, Cade.
Kale.
Kale.
Yep.
Do you people even know me?
Yeah, that's right. I did right. To be fair, barely. To be fair,
Kale?
in game, barely. But